Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here, and welcome to my review of Power Rangers Super Ninja Steel Episode 12, Fan Frenzy. So, this was a weird one. I don't know if it was just me. I didn't catch too many of the reactions on Twitter this week, but it was a weird one. It felt like there were all these things going on that like didn't fit together, but then they fit together, but then they also didn't fit together, but they fit together. Like basically you kind of had like three things going on. You start with, basically it was kind of, no, it was a Levi focused episode, and you had these two things happen at the beginning, which was this random agent approached him to do like a burger commercial, kind of like a super low rent Carl's Jr. / Hardee's commercial. And it's like, oh hey, it's the first time they're really, I feel like they've acknowledged Levi's famous since like his debut practically. Again, I think there was a huge wasted potential with that part of his character, which is probably something I'll get into with the series review and stuff. But anyway, not to harp on it, but you know, so we have that, and then he turns it down, and that spins into a Victor and Monty story, where because this agent sees Victor eating a burger so gloriously, he needs to be the one that is in the commercial. Because why get somebody else famous when you could get Victor? So they do that story, and then that ties into something else later. We'll get to that. And then the main story, well, part of it comes up with this like kid from the school that's like a fan of Levi's that somehow is just finding him even though he's been there a while. And he got one of those autographs, like, you know, when someone gets an autograph or an interaction with a celebrity and they took it too seriously, he's like, oh, we're BFF Facebook now. And he just gets super clingy, and Levi just kind of gets progressively more annoyed with it. And then on the monster stuff, you have this werewolf monster whose plan is to turn the Rangers into werewolves, which technically would make them stronger. To be fair, they don't have control over it, but still. And it's actually weird because part of it, I believe, is adapted from the story where Kinji becomes a yokai. Like, it was a much bigger story than, which is saying something because the Ninja didn't have a lot of bigger stories, but from what I remember, and I'm not like one of those people that's like, oh, they butchered it, but it is just weird when you see that. I actually kind of prefer them to change it up, whether it's for big or small, but it's just kind of funny that this sort of more little longer-ish running arc was basically a one-off episode. But anyway, he turns people into werewolves by shooting his talons at people, and I actually thought, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to get Levi turned into a werewolf, but it completely misses him. We actually get Mick as a werewolf temporarily. I honestly, for a second I was like, oh, is this how we get evil Mick? But I was like, no, that's something else. But the werewolf thing with Mick is very temporary, basically only for a couple little bits. There was a really funny reference of when he said, I look like a combination of a troll and a werewolf, no, a troll and a yeti, excuse me, which is like a reference to, you know, Phineas and then Korg. I almost wanted to call him Korag. I'm like, there's too many, Korg, wow. Anyway, was it Norg? Org. But anyway, that's another one. Wow. Anyway, I've lost it in this one, guys. But yeah, so it's only used for a couple little bits, and then Victor gets hit with one, so he becomes a werewolf, and there's this whole bit where he does like an over-the-top commercial shoot for this burger because he turns into a werewolf, and then that leads to like, oh, we want you to do the next commercials or another gig, but you have to be the werewolf, and then he's cured, and he's like, me, and I'm like, I've had a few. And then the monster later mistakes the fan for Levi because he progressively starts dressing more like him throughout the episode, and so he gets turned into it. They save him. Levi learns some sort of valuable lesson about being nice to your fans and friends and stuff like that. And yeah, it was a weird episode. I don't know if I liked it or not. Like, I don't think I hated it. It felt like a weird episode because, like, on one hand, they did actually a pretty solid job of tying all the stories together. Like, it was like a domino effect of Levi, like, oh, do you want this gig? No, it goes to Victor and Monty. Then they're sort of tied to the werewolf stuff. So it had this pretty decent synergy, but at the same time, it also felt kind of weird. Like, there was something off about it. Like, the stories were all just kind of weird. I felt like there was some missed potential with them. They felt like they were all from different episodes in a way. I don't know. It was a hard to describe feeling, but it was definitely weird. I think there was mixed potential, there we go, to make Mick like the main focus of this and have him turn into the werewolf and maybe do a kind of adaptation of the storyline from Ninja, but with Mick. Because I think that, you know, Kelson can pull that off, and there could be some interesting stuff there. And it would have been those fun ones where you can see they're sort of using a plot from the Sentai, but they're doing their own thing with it. Which, I mean, is what they did here, but it was just way more different. But I don't know. I just feel like there was some missed potential with that. The Levi fan thing was weird. It just brings up like so many like of the questions I have just about the general situation with Levi. I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna end up like reiterating that I thought it was weird over and over again. But yeah, it was just a strange episode. I'd probably give it a 6 overall. Like there were some entertaining bits. They did a pretty good job of weaving them together, but at the same time it just felt weird. There it is again. It's kind of one of those hard to describe feelings where I can't really put to words, which I should be able to do since this is a review. But yeah, it was an interesting week on Ninja Steel, to be sure. The only other thing that's kind of worth mentioning is we did get the debut of, because it was his focus episode, Levi in the lion armor. Wait, I was so excited by it, I lost my speech. No, like, I was just weirded out by the way they did it, because I honestly thought it was just going to be something like where they're like, oh look, you can use it too, or why don't you try it? But it was like this ninja star had to show them that he could use it. I don't know, it just felt weird. The prism, it just is another one of those things. It kind of reminds me of the Energems where I'm like, I would just love to have this explained because I'm like genuinely interested in how this works. It's not a huge deal, but it's just kind of weird. And it seems kind of, are they going to do the same thing for Preston if we end up getting Blue in the suit in the show? Because we got the toy. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell so you get the notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.